what's up, everyone? Everyone out there on the YouTube channel. It's your boy, Michael Henderson, New Grow Wellness Self Transformation Mastery. And today, drumroll, today is day one. Day one of my, how do we want to phrase this journey? My personal journey back, I don't want to say back like going backwards, but a new journey forward that connects all of my past experiences and current knowledge of all things health, wellness, and fitness. So let's start from the beginning, right? So I have been a fitness and wellness coach for over 12 years now. In 2010, I founded a company called Body by O LLC, which is now New Grow Wellness. I have worked with thousands of people, both in weight loss, total transformation, physique competition, sports, post-pregnancy, pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy, you name it. So I've worked with thousands of clients, nutrition plans, exercise plans, total wellness plans, transformation plans, competition prep. I myself used to be a natural competitor, bodybuilding that is, competing in 13 shows over 4.5 years, winning 2 of those overall titles, about yay close to winning my pro card. So also played a little bit of college football, D3 at Albion College, wrestled, ran track, played basketball. So that is my background when it comes to sports. Success in all of the above. Learned something different from each sport. My last show was in 2013. Yeah, so 6 years ago. And ever since my stint of competing, competing is very intense. Competing is a very intense sport, and you look phenomenal. But what tends to happen is that those lines become blurred of what it takes to be healthy and functional, and what it takes to look that way consistently. It's not realistic, nor is it healthy to be in contest stage ready shape, which is going to be 6% or lower body fat walking around. It's very hard to maintain, right? It's very hard to maintain. If you look at basketball players, NBA players, NFL players, they're in different shape. You'll see them win the Super Bowl, and then you'll see them a month or so after, and they don't look the same. I think we just had that with Zion Williamson after he got drafted. Everybody was saying how fat he was. He was just in his off season, right? So that can definitely do some mind meld, right? That can definitely send your mind through. Sorry if you can't hear me. I've got my laundry going on in the background. So, but that can definitely send your mind on a race for a lot of different things, right? Not feeling good enough, not feeling like your workouts are doing anything to change your body. Your nutrition goes haywire. It can go haywire. This is not necessarily normal, but it's more often than not, right? And this is from personal experience, but also being around competitors for years and training competitors. It's tough, right? Like, have you ever? I mean, imagine like if you have a 4-year degree or a master's degree or PhD. Maybe some of you can relate that when you work so hard and you have a regimen that's so tight and disciplined, that when you accomplish that goal and all the discipline goes, like, you don't have to do this thing anymore. You don't have to eat a certain way. You don't have to train at the gym. You kind of get this like panic. Either you shut down or you get this anxiety where your life feels unraveled because it was so consistent, so disciplined, and so regimented. So that was me for probably about the last 6-7 years, right? Like, I was vegan for 6 years after my last show. Just a personal choice. I got a little sick consuming too much beef in a small period of time, like a lot of beef, like a quarter of a cow beef. So I got really sick, like intestinal health was bad, spastic colon, just not good. So I went vegan and like raw vegan, like fruitarian. Really, I was just doing fruit smoothies all day, every day, and I felt better. Inflammation was gone. I lost a bunch of weight, which a lot of it was muscle weight. Like I lost a lot of weight, and then that progressed to raw vegan, and that progressed to dirty vegan, where I was just eating a bunch of vegan junk food, vegan burgers, vegan sausages, vegan hot dogs, anything fake vegan I was eating, which caused me to get sick on the other way. Uh, I got like puffy and itchy, right? I basically got a yeast overgrowth from, uh, a lot of the fake vegan dogs and sausages and burgers are made with something called vital wheat gluten seitan, which is just all bread, and then a lot of other stuff is just bread and junk. And yeah, so I got an internal yeast infection, like Candidus albicans, right? Candidus overgrowth, right? Craving sugar, breaking out in hives, itching everywhere, foggy brain, low energy, irritability, sleeping patterns are off. So yeah, and none of these things are an issue, so to speak, other than like I always take them as opportunities to learn, and realizing that we pushed the pendulum, or I pushed the pendulum too far on one end or the other. So we're here now. I've been in and out of the gym consistently. I've had a few back injuries because of my current weight and inflammation. Squatting and deadlifting, my back just no bueno. So no good there. So I've really had to kind of reinvent my methodology of training. I'm from football player to bodybuilder. You squat, you deadlift, you lunge, you annihilate, your legs. That also being my genetic disposition, so the area that I gain the most weight and first, and the area that I lose it last. So in my head, it's like, oh, we got to go kill it. But my back just hasn't agreed with me, and part of that is because my weight is the heaviest it's been since 2009, 2008. I am currently 193.8 and 194 pounds. I'm only 5'6" and a half. I have very small hips, very tight hips. So when my weight exceeds usually 180, 175, my low back really starts to get congested, and I start to have some low back mobility issues, and hinging at the hips just don't feel good. So sorry if I'm all over the place, but this will be first of many videos in this series, just chronicling what I do, what I use, how I'm making this journey, progressing with this journey. So we'll start with the stats. I'm 5'6" and a half, 194 pounds. I use a bioelectric impedance scale, a Tanita. I do set it at the athlete setting versus just a male setting. I've been training all my life. I've been working out since I was 11 years old. So I just stay consistent with that selection. But and measure me at 16.5% body fat. I know from exercise science schooling that there's 3.3 to 5% margin of error, no matter if it's calibers or not. So I could be more like 18-20%, which is what I would believe. 194 pounds, 20%. If I drop 10%, that would be, right, 19-20 pounds, which is about what I want to lose, right? I would like to be 165 to 170, which for the longest was my natural set point weight. And my muscle mass is about 155 pounds, which is congruent to what it was when I competed. I think it was like 159 pounds of lean mass. So I dropped a few pounds of muscle, but that's not a problem to get back. I'm definitely not looking to compete again necessarily, but when I did compete, and even now, I really like the aesthetic physique. It's the way I've always trained, for balance and proportion and symmetry. Left side looks like the right, bottom looks like the top looks like the bottom. So I've always trained for that look, but with maintaining athleticism and mobility, right? So I wasn't a bodybuilder that was just so muscle bound that I couldn't do things correctly. I always maintain an athletic approach to it for performance. Obviously, I started lifting weights for performance, to be a better football player. and then it transitioned to bodybuilding, and I'm thankful for that, because I know so many people that just work out to get bigger, and they don't train for mobility and lengthening. They train for just size and what they think they want to look like, and then you get to people that are just awkward, right? Versus people that have a nice settled athletic posture. So yeah, I would like to get down to about 170. Fluctuate between 168 and 175 would be great, especially as we enter the winter months. That look is very much what I would like to obtain, but again, not to shave my body and get peeled to sub 6% body fat to do a show. Having my pro card elude me has always kind of battled with me. Like, I like to conquer what I set out to conquer. But and who's to say, maybe a different time at a different day, but I just want to focus on quality, longevity, and play, right? Like, I want to, when I was 11 years old, training for 2 hours by myself after school in 5th and 6th grade, like, it was play to me. It was new, and it was like, oh, this is cool. And my dad taught me and set me up on a structure where I couldn't increase weights unless I conquered the form. And it was fun, and it was play for me. And I think when we do it for other reasons, weight loss challenges, competition, sports, everything besides fun and play and practicing, we kind of lose that childlike curiosity. So I just want to focus on not having to work out or having to exercise for weight loss. I know that's the byproduct of exercising correctly and eating correctly. But I have a little slogan that I use is practice, play, and enhance, right? Like, I just want to practice squatting and practice deadlifting and practice the movement. I want to practice the movement in its entirety so I can conquer and master the movement. That's weight training. I want to go and enter the gym and my workouts with a playful mentality and a playful mindset. Think of children out on the playground. If you were to go mimic what a child does on a playground, let's say in elementary, you would consider that a workout. But they're just playing, right? They can bike for hours, they can climb trees or monkey bars for hours, they can run around for hours. That's play to them. For us, it's like, oh man, this is tough, that's a workout. But part of it and most of it is the mindset that these children are approaching it. If you told them, all right, we're doing this for a workout, some of them would be like, fine, whatever. But a lot, you would hear a little moaning and groaning because of the word workout, right? It's play, right? So we're going to play, we're going to practice, and by doing so, we're going to enhance our everyday life, right? We're going to enhance our qualitative longevity, right? You had a lot of energy, you had a lot of strength and just recovery when you were 20, and you would work out hard, you would do cardio all day, and do some weights, and maybe take some fat burners and eat a lot less calories or binge on the weekend, whatever it may be, and your body can handle that. But we want to focus on being able to do this in our 30s, through our 40s, and our 50s, and 60s, and 70s, right? That's what I mean by qualitative longevity. We want to practice and play with quality now so we can enhance the longevity experience of our lives later, right? If you train correctly now, it'll enable you to continue training throughout your time on this earth. If you train intense and with the wrong patterns and incorrect mobility habits and not really focusing on training versus just annihilation, you may not have the qualitative longevity to do it in your 30s, 40s, and 50s without injuries popping up. So that's my goal, and that's how I am going to approach it. Because again, I'm not working out to even be in shape, so to speak. Like, yes, I know that's going to be the byproduct, but I'm not working out for cosmetics or vanity, right? I know that my body will change and look a certain way. Do I want a tighter midsection and more defined abs? Yeah, I've been there before. I know what it takes to get there. So for me to just do it just to look better, no, I want the mobility. I know that when my abs and my core muscles are strengthened and engaged properly and correctly, it helps my back, right? Right? They're synergistic, right? The muscles in my core is partially my lower back. I don't just chalk it up, oh, my lower back's unhealthy or I have a herniated disc. No, it's also my core muscles are weaker than they once were, right? Which helps with posture and moving and execution, right? There's other reasons as like my clothes, right? I want my clothes to fit better. I don't want to go buy new clothes. I just know that I'm too heavy for my frame and for my health. Uh, I'm also a yoga instructor, and after a while, I get a little tight bounded, right? So those are some of the many reasons, right? Your your outcome, purpose, and actions, right? The outcome is I want to be leaner, lighter, more mobile, and just find the fun again and training and working out just for fun. Um, that's the outcome. The purpose is to, well, I guess what I just ended with is to gain that love relationship of having fun and practicing and playing and getting enhancement through that. Not training for a sport or a specific reason, for a small time frame for 10 weeks or 20 weeks. This is for life, right? For longevity. Um, you know, Hitting a point in my life where I begin to think about starting a family, right? I want to have those practices reestablished in my life and the way that I live my life so that my children can see that. And it's not me barking at them to do this thing, but I'm doing this. It's more congruency where they see that their father and their parents are living a healthy, active lifestyle. Also, for my business practice, I am a coach, and it's important for me to maintain shape, right? Sometimes we get stuck in knowing the things that we know and helping others so much that we forget to help ourselves. And I have to remember that I am the beacon, and if the beacon's dim, then others will struggle to find it. So I have to be that walking testimony to my services and my practice. The actions that I'm gonna need to take, so outcome purpose actions is right. You're gonna as you follow this journey. I hope you follow this journey. Hit the subscribe button down at the bottom. Um, you're gonna be following me with my nutrition and my meal plan. Um, I wouldn't say keto. And I'll share pictures with you guys later of one of my show contest prep. I did full keto. I would say I was 50 grams of fat for about 6 to 8 weeks, and then I dropped to zero for another 4 to 6 weeks. So I went full keto, felt amazing. Um, just had energy. My mind was clear. My body peeled up really quickly. I felt great. I lacked the true knowledge of how to exit keto, and so I screwed my body up a little bit. And for probably about a year and a half after that, I could, no matter what I ate, I would fall asleep. So that was 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Fast forward, you learn more, you research, and you practice more knowledge. And so this time, I know that my body responds best to lower carbohydrates, but also mainly where I get the source of carbohydrates. I can still have, I do good about 100 150 carbohydrates max, but those have to come from like green apples, veggies, low grain. I could do like quinoa, a little bit of rice, but potatoes and breads and things like that, and wraps and stuff like that, I have to stay away from. So currently, right now, my macro breakdown, and this is rough because I don't have my app, my Fitness Pal, but it is 100 and I want to say 154 protein, 75 carbohydrates, and 75 grams of fat. So those numbers will increase as I start to lean out, but I just have to start low. That's just how my body responds. I did towards the end of my veganism, which I ended about 6 months ago. I did develop leaky gut, just overeating and too much gut inflammation with the gluten and all the bread I was eating. So I also have a little bit of digestion issues currently that I'm working to solve. So I really, again, one of the mindsets I have to tell myself is that you're no longer a bodybuilder, you're no longer a collegiate athlete. I don't have to pound all these calories, just not right now. And one of the first shows I won competing, I did it on like 1,500 calories. Like I started at like 1,900. I've always been strong and able to gain adequate muscle, but just not consuming a lot of calories. So, and once I slowly worked myself up through my bodybuilding career, eating more calories up to like 2,700, then my physique really changed. So I'll get there once again, maybe. And part of it is also like just I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's gluttony, right? I don't need to consume that much food. I don't need to be that big. So, but we'll see. I'm gonna start low, about 1,500 calories. Just allow. Uh, I probably will be doing 2 shakes a day with one solid meal, either at the end of the night or in the middle. Um, for multiple reasons. Again, I'm just trying to keep the GI load low, so my leaky gut can heal, and that I can give my body time to allow that to heal. So I can actually absorb my nutrients. There's no point of eating a bunch of nutrients if I can't absorb it. So yeah. So you'll follow me with my nutrition, how I eat, what I eat, how I prep these things, tips, tricks, ideas, eating out, things like that. Um, and I'm also kind of going through like a strong budget in my life, um, kind of like the Dave Ramsey principles. So you'll also get to see how I can follow a nutrition plan while budgeting, right? It's actually pretty cool. Um, you'll be able to see my supplement regimen, the supplements that I use consistently and daily, and why. Uh, you'll be following my workouts, both in the gym, outside of the gym. Again, I'm trying to share with you all the benefits of lifestyle activities, not just focusing on walking into a gym, right? I work out at Planet Fitness. I work out at my own studio that I own. Um, and I love lifestyle activities. I love just like going to the lake and swimming and things like that. So we'll have a little bit of all that as you follow through this journey. Um, yeah, and anything and everything in between. Some of the gear that I use in a workout, some clothing that I feel is comfortable for somebody that works out. More stretchy gear. Other than Lululemon, right? But yeah, just all things on my journey, right? My journey and beyond some. So I thank you for watching, and hopefully you hit the subscribe button, follow along as I reveal more of myself and more of this journey. Um, Remember, it's all about play, practice, and enhance. That's all my mission is, my goal is. There's no wrong way to live your life, right? Kind of like there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. Um, this is a holistic approach. It's not just bodybuilding. It's not just athletic. It's not just science. It's not just nature. It's everything, right? I'm not anti-veganism. I don't believe in veganism. I don't believe in the carnivore diet. I don't believe in keto. I believe in individualized, holistic approach to who you are, where you want to go, and how you want to live your life. That's how I work with my clients. That's how I assess people. Like I learned a lot from being vegan, and I learned a lot from there's not one or the other that's better. You always will need some combination of both, because that was what was provided to us by God. So, um, yeah. Again, Michael Henderson, New Grow Wellness. This is my journey. Thank you for following along. Hope to see you soon. Stay tuned for more. Peace.